What's up everybody? In this video I will show you a summarized stream of a guy named Emperor Camper, and the interesting part starts when a guy called Terry Spire, he's a creative director at Ubisoft Red Storm on the Division 1 and 2. When he joins the stream he starts answering questions about the current meta in Division 1, but he's also answering questions for Division 2 that weren't answered yet. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you should keep watching. And at the end I will say a few words to the current meta, and I will express my own opinion to the whole situation.
It's alright. I know not everybody liked 1.8.3. I'm a big boy.
Oh, we can talk about that too if you want to.
Sure! Yeah, talk about anything. That's cool.
I wanted to ask, and some of the guys in chat have been asking too, about the meta right now. How do you feel about it? Good, bad? Is it in a good place?
No, I don't think it's in a good place. And if I could do 1.8.4 right now, I would, absolutely. I think it's important, maybe especially for the people with us right now, because you guys are the awesome ones, right? You're here day in and day out, every Friday hanging with Ampy, and I wish I could take all you out for drinks. I do, I really do. I really do, man. You know, 1.8.3 was on the table for one reason, right? And that's because the running in place bug.
Yeah.
Right? That was the, okay, all stop. We made a mistake. We had this bug reported a long time ago, and we thought it was nothing, when in fact it was something. So we made a mistake. And the people that made the mistake were fired, so good for them. No, they weren't. I'm just kidding. They weren't fired. They had a stern talking to.
Coming in with your business suit on, dude.
Yeah. And so we had to fix it. Obviously, we had to fix it. We fixed the running in place bug, as far as I know, as far as our QC is concerned. Mm-hmm. And that's why we did 1.8.3. And because we had it cracked open and we had a little time, we thought we'd take a look at, you know, one little bit of a change to help with the Striker, and one little bit of a change to help with Cronus Max and the Showstopper, right? And just kind of wrap things up a little bit. And yeah, I didn't like how Support Station was being used. That is absolutely correct. Mm-hmm. I made that decision, which quite frankly, folks, is in my right to make that decision, despite what the players really appreciate or how they've been using it. It's a shared experience, and you know, we're trying to create an experience, and it might be different than the experience that has been in place for some time. Yeah. And maybe we're molding an experience for what's to come in the future. You know, grand plans and all that business. Anyhow, the idea wasn't to fix the meta with 1.8.3. The idea wasn't to finally create PvP balance. That wasn't the intent. We didn't have the time for that. It would take, you know, 6 months and PTSs and, you know, all kinds of, probably an ETF and a serious investment, because we have a complicated game. You guys all know that. Our game is complicated. So,
you ready to listen?
to say that we would fix the meta with, you know, our Striker adjustment and our Showstopper tweak and our Support Station, you know, change.
Yeah.
You know, that's
not
just
feasible.
not the case.
Yeah.
Maybe 1.83 as a patch was blown out of proportion. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. If it was, then of course it's our mistake for blowing it out of proportion. You know, maybe it shouldn't have even been a 1.8.3. Maybe it should have just been a, hey, we did some stuff. We fixed some things, instead of a, this is a patch.
Right.
I mean, it was a patch, but, you know.
Managing expectations. And
Yeah. So, sure, there's definitely meta problems. I'm not happy. And you know what, I hear through the grapevine that some players aren't happy too. And I respect that. And you guys know how I feel about communication. As long as it's constructive, I'm all for it. I don't have a problem with somebody saying, hey, I'm not happy. Or I think they made a mistake. I'm fine with those words also. It's just the trollier types that I'm not quite a fan of. Chat. So, let's see. With the DZ and TD2, have you guys thought about separating the player base into two different DZs? One for solo, duo size groups, and one for trios and squads. Solo players are a significant disadvantage when encountering squads. However, I understand it's a hard decision because that's a good question. Who wrote that question? You want to scroll over for me?
Oh.
Just so Sir Darth. Good question. You can scroll back down. Yeah, we have thought about it, in fact. I can't comment on the plans We've only made a public statement that there will be a dark zone in the division. To my knowledge, we haven't had any other release statements. Did we say anything else at PAX?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, so we have thought about that. Of course, matchmaking is something that's very important for us in the dark zone. We've learned a lot from the first game about the dark zone, and so we're applying a lot of that information. And also, you know, we kind of want to stay on the cutting edge. I really think the dark zone was on the cutting edge. Dude, you're that guy. It was a unique experience, and we want to recreate sort of that uniqueness. But you also have to remember, though, the dark zone is supposed to be a place with no rules. So while I understand, hey, maybe matchmaking is the kind of rules we can have, let's also bear in mind that you go in with the knowledge that it's not fair. You make your own fairness, right? And that happens to be, well, if you have more people, you're going to have an advantage, plain and simple. I'm not saying you're not correct. Solo players are at a strong disadvantage, and I realize a lot of players these days do solo, and I totally get it. All right, another question. Terry, 8-man raids from Suspicious Pixel. Will it have a good clan integration system inspired from games like Destiny 2 and Warframe? I can't give you the exact details, Pixel, but I can say that, you know, clans are a feature and raids are a feature, and I think it would be very smart to integrate those as much as possible. Any comments on the engine optimizations tackling issues from Div 1 going into Div 2? Bicycle of Death! I didn't crack the mic, did I?
I didn't hear a thing.
Okay. We have definitely optimized, Bike. That's all I can say, baby. Terry, are you guys going to tweak the Nomad and Predator's Mark meta? I want to say Darth Amphetamine, but that's not. Dart the Phantom. Dart the Phantom.
Reading is hard, man.
It is hard.
Jeez.
I make video games, man. I don't write novels. I would like to. That's what I would like to. Rip my ears. Buzz, I'm sorry. Terry, how will you solve the desync problem in Div 2? I will not solve it. However, my engineers will. We have quite many good plans for those things, for Division 2, believe me. Now, how do I interpret balance versus nerf? For example, I think the support station, let's see, how would I describe that? The change we made to the support station, that was a nerf. We nerfed that. Like, the functionality stayed the same. We altered the functionality, we altered the timing of it, so it's not as effective as it was instantly. That was a straight up nerf. As it relates to balance, I think we balanced. I shouldn't say we balanced. We were balancing the striker set. We adjusted some of the values on the heal to try and bring the power more in line with other gear sets, because it was not. It was out of balance. It's a tough thing, man. It's a good question.
No, it is. That is a really tough spot.
Yeah, it's a good question. Terry, was that nerf a way of preparing people for Division 2 since the time to kill might be higher? Well, if you've watched any of the footage, you can see that the Division 2 is pretty lethal. And, you know, one of the big rubs on the first game was how incredibly spongy it was. And let's be frank, like, you know, we've played into those hands, you know, with stamina builds and stuff like that. Time to kill. I would say time to kill is high right now in Division. It takes a long time to kill someone. So, time to kill in the sequel to this video game will be faster. And I can't say that it was the only reason we did that, but it was definitely one of the reasons. You know, it's kind of like, why did we implement Rogue 2.0? Well, to see how people would respond, to see what the community thought, to see how it was embraced, to see what would happen with the numbers, because we knew we were making a second game. Terry, will chicken dance movement in PvP be less effective? Yep, it will be less effective in Division 2. Will changes in Div 2 to gear be separate for PvE and PvP? That's a great question, Murder. all I can tell you is that, you know, that's something we experimented with Striker. And we did get great response to that. And so I can't confirm or deny what we'll be doing, but I can say that we were quite pleased with the community's response and pleased with our ability to make that change. Terry, have you talked any about the current state of Div 1 PvP? Worth me watching the video? I can sum it up for you right here. I don't know if it's worth watching the whole. I mean, of course it's worth it because Ampy.
The meta discussion. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the so-called 1.8.3 addressing a meta was as far as we got.
Yeah, it's 1.8.3 was not meant to fix or address any major meta issues beyond trying to rebalance Striker and fix the run and place bug. That was 1.8.3. I'm not pleased with how things are right now. And there's a lot of agreement between myself and a lot of the community members. But that doesn't mean we can fix it right now. You know, that needs approval, and that's just the politics of the whole thing, to be quite frank.
If you're going to break it down.
If I'm going to break it down, yeah. So, yep, there's a meta issue right now. I'm not happy.
So the developers are basically saying that they are not happy with the current state of the game, but they also say that they can't fix it because it will take months and PTSs and a lot of work and investments. So I'm just guessing right now, but it sounds like they are giving up on the Division 1, what PvP balance-wise, but I obviously can't confirm that because Terry's only teasing, he's not giving like solid information. And yeah, I'm a bit afraid that the meta will stay like that because at the current state it's not really fun to play, and I think there's a lot of people that agree with that. So I'd like to have a conversation in the comment section. If you guys want to join, just write a comment and I'll try to reply to everyone. And if you want to answer any comments as well, that would be great, so we can have a big talk about the current meta and what your opinion is about it. And yeah, that's gonna wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed it, I would really appreciate you sharing the video and leave a like and subscribe. Peace out, guys.
I'm ballin'. That's why these bitches keep calling. Low-key, I'm sponsored by Spalding, so pass me the rock, but you know that I'm scoring. My team winning, yeah, that's important. I blow the bitch, yeah, I'm important. My shipment imported from Portland. I split with my team, I'm dividing the fortune like